98% of kids are creative geniuses, right? You tested, it was a Harvard study done. 98% of kids 2 years old are creative geniuses. When you look at adults, that number is only at 2%. So as we grow older, we find reasons not to do things, right? And the reason I bring that up is I'm 43 now, turning 44 this year, is I find sometimes I still let go of that belief, those big ideas and pictures, and I still want to chase that. And I look at my kids who still have that belief and interest. Like my younger son got on stage with Diljit all through that belief in Vancouver. And, you know, amazing there is that we took him to the concert when Diljit came here in 2014. He loved it. He was 4 years old at the time. And I remember I bought tickets. I was in London. I bought tickets and I came home and I'm like, hey, man, Seema, we'll take mom and dad. Well, brothers. She's like, no, we'll take the kids too. I was like, the kids, 4 and 6, they're not going to enjoy it. So anyways, glad we did. Went there. He enjoyed it. He loved it. The next day he was with my dad and he said, Babaji, mere pag bando. Put a pug on me and he put shades and he had a microphone the entire day. He's like, I'm Diljit. So I tweeted out, I said, thanks Diljit for inspiring my kid and millions of others, right? And that got retweeted by him. And the following year, his first day of school, he's holding up a sign. And when it says, what do you want to be when you grow up? He says, Diljit. Yeah. Diljit Dosanjh. And he wrote that. And fast forward, you know, he just fell in love with him, wanted to dress like him. It's my brother-in-law's wedding, my younger son's mama. And at the pre-wedding party, he wanted to dress up as Diljit as Coachella. And so he did that. So he's doing all this stuff. And this latest concert, when he came to do the Illuminati tour, again, I bought a bunch of tickets and nowhere near the front. We're in the midsection in the back somewhere. And a month or 2 months out, and we told him we'll go. One of our cousins, she's here from England, Ruby, yeah, who's here from England, and we're at cousin's house visiting her. He was going around, this is a month out of the concert, telling everybody, he goes, are you going to the Diljit concert? And everyone's like, yeah. He goes, I'm going to be on stage. I'm like, how are you going to be on stage? He goes, Dad, I'm going to be on stage. And we're like, wow, okay, wow. So didn't want to crush his dream. So he wanted to dress up, and we gave him the plug and the Portland and dressed him up. And that day, so 2 weeks before that, my boss comes to work. He goes, hey, I've got front row tickets. Take your kid. I know how much it means to him. I didn't tell him we had front row. Yeah. So we go and show up, and as happens, we're at the front row, and Diljit comes around and he sees him and he does this. And we're like, okay, this is all we need. This is fantastic, right? And the power is, and then my older son's there. My older son's like the complete opposites, his kids. And my older son's like, Dad, hold him up on your shoulders, hold him up higher. Diljit see him. And just, he goes, he's got to get up there. He's got to see him, right? So I had him up on my shoulders. Second half, he sees him and he goes, bring him up, right? So he goes on stage, and amazing moment, right? Here's this, how old is he now? 7, he was 6 at the time, 6-year-old on stage, 55,000 people. And he's got ADHD. And so he's there. But the cool part was all the professional dancers that were there, they're his Bhangra teachers. Oh, what? Yeah, at Van City Bhangra. So this story gets better. He gets a jacket, and I remember Diljit asked him a question on stage, and he kind of froze and da-da-da. So I asked him after, I said, Anik, why didn't you say anything? He goes, Dad, it was Diljit's concert. It wasn't mine. It's not my show. And I was like, oh, that's great. But I tell this story because my older son, the entire time, had this belief in his brother that he's going to do this. My son, at 6 years old, had this belief that he was going to do this. We all thought he was crazy. But it was a huge lesson for me at 44 years of age now. That the older we get, we find reasons to say no, and we say no for no reason.